Hello and welcome to just outside of Munich, and welcome to EVUM Motors. This is the factory production site of the EVUM. Now, about a year ago, I was in Munich and I heard about these things. I was at the IAA, the International Auto Show that was in Munich at the time. And I was like, hey, what the heck is this? It's an electric four-wheel drive, basically Unimog, but shrunken. So I basically called it the electric mini Unimog, and I fell in love with it. EVUM was kind enough to let me come over and drive it, and we have a whole driving review of this. But I've been talking with the guys, we've stayed in contact, and they said, hey, why don't you come by our new production site? Pretty sweet. It's a relatively low volume production right now, but talk about the plans for the future. I think having an electric small utility device such as this that's also rugged and capable of off-road and harsh terrain is really needed. At least in the meantime though, production is quite small. I'm over here at the production facility. We're going to go on a full tour with Martin, the founder of the company. So let's get into it. Guys, take a look at this. We're over here just somewhere outside of Munich where we get this big green EVUM Motors building. Here's Martin. How are you doing, sir?
I'm quite well, thanks, Kyle. How are you?
I'm doing well. So can you tell me where we are and why we're here for EVUM? Because your office is in Munich.
So we are here because that's our production site here in Bayerbach in Bavaria, in the middle of Bavaria. And so we are here because one of our investors, our early stage investors, has its company here, and that was quite a place which we could get, and we were started to build the first EVUM vehicles.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's really cool. So tell me a little bit about EVUM. We've already made a video, which I'll link to in the description, of driving this vehicle about a year ago. And as you know from my side, I really fell in love with it. I think it's just so much fun. But what's the genesis? Why is EVUM EVUM?
Actually, we started even 5 years ago, and the original idea was to build a very robust, rugged, simple electric vehicle for developing countries. And that's why how we started, and we developed the idea more, and now after some time we could see that there is a market for the vehicle in Europe, even in Germany or outside of Germany, and we started to produce the vehicle and to sell the vehicle in here. And that's how it started. And the genes of the vehicles are, it should be robust, it should be very simple, but on the other side it can transport up to 1 ton, it can drive off-road, so that's what's about.
Right, so huge payload capability, yeah. Four-wheel drive capability, and just ease of use. That's really the biggest thing here. It's not meant to be a 270 kilometer an hour Autobahn shredder. This is a utility device.
That's totally a utility device for the last mile, for municipalities, even for the agriculture. As you say, it's very simple and easy. You can just open the door, you sit down, and you can drive with it. So it's very easy. Yeah,
it's awesome. Why don't you take us on a quick tour of maybe these three vehicles you have here?
So let's have a look at, do we want to start with the white one?
Yeah, let's start with the white
one with the box. So let's come from this side. I think it's easier for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
So you see we have 3 colors. We offer white, orange and green as EVUM, but actually we love the EVUM green. It's the...
Yeah, the green is my favorite color.
It's my favorite too. And yeah. But you see from the inside, the vehicle is very simple, very robust. There is everything what's in there. It's I think you can touch it with gloves and you can operate it. You have this display in the middle which shows you the speed and some more information. But actually that's it. You can just turn the key and you drive around with the vehicle.
You know, one of the benefits of electric mobility is just being simple. You plug it into a wall outlet, you drive it around, and then you plug it back in when you're done. It doesn't need to be crazy complicated, and this isn't.
That's what we were thinking as we started, even as we had the idea, because the electric vehicles are actually much more simple than the other vehicles. And our idea was, why do we have to make it complicated with everything, many displays and many functionalities? The idea was making simple, reduced to the max. It's a utility vehicle, and maximize the function for the customer.
Yeah, totally agree. And something that's catching my eye over here is I'm seeing your charging port. And so of course we have the typical Type 2 port on top, and then also DC pins at the bottom. So how are you charging this vehicle then?
Just charge it with a standard plug, or you can call it fast charging with 10 to 12 kilowatts using the DC pins.
Yep.
But it's all 48 volts. That's why it's quite different to the vehicles which you know.
Sure. Like if you plug this into an Ionity station, it wouldn't know what to do. It would just.
I think it would definitely. It would charge, but it would charge like with a standard plug.
Yeah,
because it would not know how to charge with the DC 100 kV.
Right. Yeah. Totally agree. So, yeah, it's a simple solution.
It's a very simple solution using the plug, and we can offer with our fast charging, which EVUM offers is. You have the vehicle, it's fully charged after 1.5 to 2 hours.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. A lot of these vehicles are going to be used in municipalities, on farms or ranches. And so you're basically going to be driving it for a couple hours, lunch break, top it up, and you're done by the end.
And even like we are offering our smallest battery has 16.5 kilowatt hours.
Yep.
And even with that, you have a range from about 80 to 100 kilometers. And for most of our customers, it's enough.
Yeah.
They don't drive in a day more than 80 to 100 kilometers.
I would totally agree that. What are you actually finding people are going for? Are they going for the 32 kilowatt hour pack or the 16?
Like more than 50% are going for the smallest one.
Okay.
We have a mid one, which are 23 kilowatt hours.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's nice.
That's definitely something new, which we did not offer a year ago.
Okay.
And these are the battery packs and the sizes which the customers do want to have. Like the biggest one, it's only 10 to 15%.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's really, really interesting to hear. And so, okay, we have the box on the back. Can you show us what's inside of the box?
Yeah, definitely. There's the box. The box is actually empty, but it can be used for the municipalities if you want to transport something which should not get wet if it rains, or it should be covered. Definitely you have this box.
Really nice hardware as well.
It's mostly made for the inner city use, and what we have in here, that's the longer wheelbase vehicle which we'll start to sell next year or at the beginning of the next year, where you can bring up to 4 Euro pallets on the vehicle.
Yeah, and we can easily see the size difference between the standard wheelbase.
It's around about 1 meter. It's around 1 meter, where this longer wheelbase is longer.
Wow, and so it's also chassis as well as the wheelbase itself, right?
The wheelbase and chassis is about 1 meter longer.
Okay, so proportionally elongated. That is really nice. I like the long one. I think it looks cool.
Me too. We definitely, as I saw it for the first time in the reality, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I think that's the one I would go for. It looks pretty cool. Plus, you mentioned you could put 4 Euro pallets on this thing. 4 Euro pallets,
and you have more than 1 ton of payload with the vehicle.
That's a lot of payload for something this small.
Definitely.
That's really interesting. Now you can option, I remember at the time, 2 different types of tires, right?
Yeah.
So you have the off-road ones?
What we have the normal tires, we have all-weather tires, and what you cannot see in here today is the off-road tires which we're offering. Yeah.
Right, but you had that on display at the IAA, and that was really cool looking.
I loved it, but for the biggest part of the customers, they want to have the normal tires.
Of course, it's not needed unless you're a silly YouTuber who wants to jump it off-road.
If you are driving off-road, you don't need off-road tires in the most part of the roads. Yeah,
totally agree. And before we get to the last one, can you explain a little bit of the vision? You originally said, this was meant to help developing countries and third world places. Is that still the intention? Do you think you'll go back to that original goal?
Definitely. We definitely will go back. We now have to establish a company now in Europe. But the main idea, and even if you see the factory, it's very simple even to build. That was the main idea behind it. So even building a micro factory is outside of Europe. Yeah. In developing countries or emerging markets, is not that difficult. Right. You just need like less than 1 million euro and you can start to assemble the vehicles. That's
Amazing.
the idea behind it.
Amazing. That's great. And this is the EVUM green one. This is my favorite color. And
mine too.
Yeah. And it's really in the standard configuration because you can option really anything to put on the back of this, whatever you can get to fit.
Definitely.
But this is how it comes standard, right?
That's a standard. With this, what you say, it's a standard configuration. You can have the box. There are different possibilities, but you will get what you need.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the motors? We know you can get a 16 to 32 kilowatt hour pack. We have up to 12 kilowatt charging. How much power does it make?
So what we have 2 electric motors. On every axle there is one. They have like 10 kilowatt power long term, and they have like 15 kilowatt power for 30 seconds.
Yep,
So
for a
it's
peak. Yep.
For a peak power, yeah.
Yep. And I actually drove it on the road. Those numbers don't sound like much, but it's actually geared really well.
That's the main idea. It's geared really well. The maximum speed is around about 75 kilometers an hour, but it's built for the cities or the inner city use, and even if you are driving off-road. So you have the torque, you have the enough power, and even if you are fully loaded, it's enough. It sounds not much, but it's enough.
And I would agree with that 100%. When we took one out, we took it in a field, did a little bit of light off-roading, and even then we were not using full acceleration or anything like that.
Actually, for this purpose, the vehicle is built. It's mostly built for the light off-road. Even if you are going the really rough off-road, you would probably need the off-road tires, and we are offering even some special package where you can. You don't damage the vehicle.
From like downside, a skid plate.
Like skid plate and so on, but it's only for just special uses, for purposes.
Well, what do you say we go inside and take a look at how these things are actually built?
Yeah, totally.
And
come in.
Yeah, let's go see. I really love that they are fully street legal, all registered. You can take them out and about.
Totally. This is all of Europe. You can drive around with the vehicles.
Yeah, it's just a really cool solution for sure.
So let's come in.
Yeah, thank you so much. Into the factory we go, greeted with the EVUM sign here in EVUM green with this one. Hustle and bustle going on.
And you see that's where the vehicles are being built. We have 6 stations plus the end of line check of the vehicles, and within this the vehicles are being built. Actually.
Amazing, really cool. And so what do we have coming down over this way? We have some production processes.
That's how it starts actually, that you are putting this leather on these vehicles, where the vehicles is being built, and then we are pushing it through the production line, and after 2 or 3 days the vehicle is ready.
Wow.
It's being finished.
Amazing. So it takes about 2 days to go from start to finish at the moment.
2 to 3 days, definitely. We are now building around about 10 vehicles a week. Next.
Okay, and this is just step 1.
That's step 1, just a step 1, small series production to establish the processes, to even understand the product which we have the vehicle, and then we can scale it up. So scaling up is quite easy because it's a very simple assembly process which we are using.
Yep, I agree. If it's built simply, you can just rocket it throughout the process. Yep.
And actually you see the vehicle number 299, which is being built now.
Ah, very cool. So this is number 299.
And that's it's pushed. You see the front axle, the rear axle will follow.
Yep.
And then in the next step.
Really nice looking hardware, all looking super production.
And most parts are coming from Europe, even from Germany. So we are using high quality parts like Marlin motors, and Continental brake system, and so on, so on. That's one of our USPs which we offer.
Is to make it simple, but also rugged and high quality.
Rugged and high quality. That's the main idea behind it.
And I would get that sense here. You can see everyone's working away, doing actual stuff.
That's the station where the guys are now putting the first electric harness in the vehicle. Then the cabin is being followed. That's actually this station is called wedding, where the chassis is meeting the cabin of the vehicle.
Very nice.
And then it's being pushed to the next station.
Very cool. See some tabs being cut here.
You see even Bilstein components, so on. So mostly German companies which we are using as a supplier for all the parts.
Not cheaping out at all. Really high quality components, I would say.
And that's the point where our exterior interior parts are being assembled to the vehicle. They are being glued to the vehicle. So we have an exterior part built up of plastics, and they are being glued to the vehicle.
Very cool, very cool. And you can see this one has the battery pack installed by now, right there in the center.
Is definitely that's where the battery is already installed in the center. You see that the drive train is already installed. So this vehicle is nearly 80% finished.
Wow, very cool. And then we get over to end of line, but take a look at this. You can see holding the glue together.
Holding the glue together, how the vehicle is being glued. And in the next step, you will see that the interior parts are coming in, and then the vehicle stands on its own wheels. and then it can go to the end of line.
Yeah,
check.
very cool, very cool. And how did you end up creating this entire production process? Who helped you with all of this?
Actually, we made it all on our own.
Really?
with our stuff. So kind of learning by doing was a part of it, and the second part of it was getting the right know-how in the company.
We were discussing a little bit that I really love the culture of how you've created this whole place, because a lot of times when someone comes, and we work with a lot of startup automakers and covering their stories, it's everything has to be totally planned out ahead of time. You're just like, we're just going to do it and figure it out.
Actually, it was kind of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just let's start it. Let's start to develop the vehicle. Let's start to build it, and you learn it on the way.
It's just amazing.
That's the point. Otherwise, probably we would not be as quick as we were. You just have to imagine we needed around about 1.5 to 2 years from the first scratch of the vehicle that you see until the first vehicle was delivered to the customer.
Wow, that's really quick.
So time to market was a high priority for us at the very beginning.
Yeah, and just, even for established automakers, for our audience that may not know, 7-year production cycle is not unheard of.
Yeah,
it can take this long for just the next model year. Crazy, crazy. This is looking really cool. You can see the headlights installed over here. They look so happy.
Yeah, they look so happy. That was the main idea. This round eyes, the round lights, which we have definitely to make a happy but rugged, I think, styling of the vehicle.
I think it's great. I mean, we talked last year that it's really like a mini Unimog.
Yeah, that was the main idea behind it, definitely.
And here we are, the first time that it's on its own wheels.
It's the first time that the vehicle is on its own wheels. Now there are some parts that are being installed, and the interior will follow. And you see then actually the harness which is in there. And then in the last step, this platform or the module or the box will follow.
Right, because you can really just bolt whatever you want back there.
You can put whatever back there, definitely.
Yep, of course. And you can see your rear suspension components here.
You see the rear suspension.
But I just love how simple everything is.
It's simple, it's easy, but it's rugged.
Yep.
And it can sustain everything what we need. And the main goal was to maximize the functionality for the customer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or for the driver.
Yeah.
And what you see is a kind of a special for us. So there is no competitor in Europe which is offering it. It's a plug, so you can even get the energy out of the vehicle. You can charge your batteries. You can even we cut down a tree with it, so you can do it whatever you want.
And it's 230 volts.
It's 230 volts plug.
Yeah, that's nice.
So 3.5 kilowatt, which you can get
nice.
out of it.
That's amazing. Yeah. Everyone makes a big deal of the Hyundai Ioniq. In America, we only get 1.6 kilowatts out of it. This, twice.
And since 2 years, we are offering it, definitely.
Yeah, just
and
amazing.
Especially for the municipalities or for all the guys who are driving with it around, even off-road, it's a big functionality which really helps them.
Yeah, I think the big thing to remember with an EVUM is it's not designed to fit every need, but it's designed to fit these small tasks perfectly, because there's nothing else in this space. You really have to go the golf cart route or a car, and this is kind of in the middle.
Totally, that's what we are aiming for. As you say, it's quite a niche. We have our customers which we know, and we are definitely offering something which there is nobody else who can offer it, and we are maximizing it for them.
Yeah, and you guys are doing a great job making big waves in the industry. It's really great to see.
And then as a last step, what you will see is our end-of-line check, where the brakes are being tested, the chassis is being adjusted for the last step, and then the vehicle is ready
so
to
basically,
leave the production.
Alignment, light check, systems function, and rock and roll.
Systems function, light check, brake check, everything what you need to bring the vehicle safely on the road. We have the right documentation, then you can put the plates on it and the vehicle is ready to go.
Fully street legal and homologated, which is no easy task in Germany.
It's not an easy, that is...
There's noises going on here. Nice.
So fully street legal, even in Germany we have the homologation, and it's allowed to drive on every road in Germany and even in Europe.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is no small task right there. That is a difficult situation for sure. You can see the screen
and you can see
fired up.
The last software check is being made now in the vehicle.
So much noise.
Yeah.
And what do you typically ship them with a battery state of charge? Do you full charge them or bring them to 80?
Usually it's quite full charge, so it's
Yeah.
not full, but then about 90% what we are
Okay,
doing.
because it's not great to just totally top them. But what
definitely.
chemistry are you using for your battery packs?
We are using NMC cells, like
Okay.
lithium-ion NMC cells.
Yep, very nice, very cool.
It's a standard in Germany. It's a standard in the automotive area.
Sure, of course, yep. And what's your opinion on LFP for this use case?
LFP would be a great thing for this use case.
Yeah.
We are now looking into it, but according to the costs and even according to the volume, we are now on the search, because it definitely it could make sense.
Yeah.
You can hear that.
Yeah, more things, but yeah, LFP may be the correct choice going forwards.
LFP would be definitely long-term or middle-term the right choice for it.
Yeah, yeah. You can see the headlights being adjusted
Yeah.
here with this unit.
The headlights are being adjusted, and now then the vehicle is ready to go.
Very cool.
And now it will leave this door, and then it's going to our customers.
Can we go out this
Yeah, we can
way and
definitely
see
go
what
this
it
way.
is?
Come, let's
So
go.
these stations here to the left, what exactly
These
is going
stations
on?
are up to the vehicle. It's being here for the end of line check. That there are some quality check, and then they are being polished and so on and prepared to be delivered to the.
Oh, I see.
to the
Cool. So
customer.
just really last minute stuff that may pop
Last
up.
minute that may pop up, and then polishment is being cleaned and so on, and then it's going outside.
Very nice. Very nice. And what was this space originally used for if it wasn't for building cars?
Originally it was used to produce steel parts.
Very cool.
There were big stamps in there, and
So you had all the power you needed.
Yeah, we have all the power that we need. There's enough power for it.
Cool.
And there's some toolings even from the company, from Spanner, and so on. But actually,
Yeah, very nice. And then this is basically where they get stored after they're produced.
usually, yeah, after they're produced. Now they have some more vehicles, because we are now in August. In August in Germany, many guys are on holidays. Even our customers who should pick up the vehicles.
Oh, really interesting. Nice. So you have to hold on to them for some time.
Yeah, definitely. We have to store more vehicles than we are used to.
Great. Well, thank you for showing us this. I think we should head over to the service side as well.
Perfect. Let's
and
go
talk
to the
about
service
this.
Totally. So you see the complete vehicle that you are now waiting to be picked up or delivered to the customer.
Yeah, really cool. And are you finding that there's a pretty even mix between all of the colors that people are going for?
Yeah, it's an even mix, but actually the EVUM green is the favorite one.
Oh,
even
good.
Of our customers. So EVUM green, but especially for the municipalities, they want to have the orange one. And there are some companies and municipalities who want to have the white one. That's why we're offering three colors.
Right, the orange is perfect for construction
For
sites and
construction
safety.
sites and inner city use for the municipalities and so on.
Sure, sure.
So let's go. That's the storage area.
Love it. This is so cool. And is this all used by your stuff here or shared with the other
We
companies?
shared with the other company. We share it like 80%, 85% is used by us, but there are some, you see the cabin parts, so that these are actually cabin parts that are delivered in here, and we are.
Wow, this is a big
Assembling-
space. You
assembling
can see
the-
more assembly of the cabin
Yeah,
parts.
that's
This
an
is where they're
assembly.
welded.
It's assembly of the cabin, but actually we assembled so many cabins that we have enough in stock now, so we cannot see how it's being assembled now.
Sure, makes sense. You got enough going basically.
So that they are the parts, you see all the exterior interior parts which are stored in here.
Oh yeah, take a look. All of these, all the different colors. So cool.
This is the quality storage, so if there are parts which we are making a check, if they arrive at EVUM and if you are not okay, they are coming into this area. And it's closed, and we can be sure that these parts are not being used in the production.
Okay, so these are ones that you either spotted issues
Yeah.
with or had done
The
testing
testing, and then it's in a closed and
locked.
locked, so nobody can enter and nobody can use it.
Wow, very cool. I'm so fascinated touring factories, and it's amazing. You're building 10 cars a week, and even that requires this much space.
And this much space, and we are aiming with this space which we have, within the next year, the beginning of next year, for 25 cars a week. So
Wow.
it's a huge step.
You think you can do 25 a week in this space?
Yeah, we think we can do. We have to optimize some things. We have to optimize the processes, but we are quite sure that we can do it.
Nice, very cool.
And that's actually the service area which you see.
Yeah.
This is actually our vehicle. If we have something new, some new parts and so on, we always are testing it with the vehicle. It's our testing mock-up.
Interesting. So this lives a really rough life.
It's a rough life. It's always being assembled and disassembled, you know?
Yeah,
and always is somebody working on the vehicle.
That's really cool to see. So any engineering change or any part addition?
If we change the supplier of something and so on, it's always being tested in here if it works, and then if we say it's checked, after that it's going into production.
And how are you finding the supply chain and the supplier network being such a small volume manufacturer? Does this make it quite difficult, do you think?
At the very beginning it was not quite easy, but we now find a spot. Usually companies who are supplying these parts to tractors or to the agricultural vehicles and so on, these are the right ones. But we are using even Continental with many automotive parts.
Yep.
It depends, but we now have established a good network where we really can choose and can discuss it with these guys.
Yeah, but this must have taken a lot of work.
It takes even like one thing is the developing the vehicle. What we learned is establishing a supply chain which works. It's not an easy part. Definitely.
Right.
Definitely, it was one of the hardest jobs which you had to do.
Right. I can only imagine. This is the talk of obviously the whole automotive industry is supply chain and building these things up. Oh, and we can take a look just over here. You can see the off-road tires selected on this green one.
You can see this green one with the off-road tires, which are my favorite one.
Yes.
You can see the longer wheelbase vehicle, a prototype, which is now being readjusted.
Yep, very cool.
In the service area.
They're just so simple. That's the best thing about them. It's just some metal.
That's really our vehicle which is really driving off-road, quite often off-road, and that's a service area where we are rechecking the vehicles, especially the early vehicles, the early ones which we deliver to the customers.
So this is like a testing vehicle, more or less.
It's a vehicle which is in the customer hands, but it's also the early vehicles, and after 1 year and so on, we bring the vehicles back and have a look at them and so on and recheck them.
And are you finding that your customers are pretty enthusiastic to help with the building process?
Like, we told them at the very beginning, even the early customers, we told them, guys, these are the first vehicles which you get. We probably need to readjust some things on them, but they were happy to do it. Definitely, they wanted to do it.
That's amazing. Great to have a good customer base there.
That's very important, especially for the start. If you're starting it, bringing the vehicle to the market, it's one of the most important things.
Yep, totally agree. And thanks again for letting me borrow some electricity and throw it.
But absolutely welcome for it.
Yeah, it happens sometimes when you pull up. But 20 kilowatts, you got these plugs everywhere. So power is not an issue in this building.
Power is not an issue because you know these big stems which the company was using before really need power. So that's something which we have in here.
Very cool. And then in terms of servicing, of course, you have this factory service center location, I would say. Really nicely done, by the way, considering like the flooring, everything's just seemingly working really great. You have a whole bunch of bays. What is it like for a customer to service there, Ebam?
Actually, as a customer, there is not much service to do because you don't have an oil change it needs to do. So it's only a checking of the vehicle, and these vehicles which are coming to Bayerbach are mostly vehicles where we want to recheck them, or if we have somebody who really had a bigger crash with the vehicle, and then that's why we are repairing it.
Right, makes sense. But really,
but all our sales partners, which we have, they're all these simpler service parts or service things they can do on their own.
So there's a network out there.
A network. We have a sales network and service network out of Europe, and every customer which has the vehicle can go to a service partner and get it done.
Really cool. Can't thank you enough for the tour. This was really neat. Is there anything else that you want to show? Or
actually, I think that's all of how we're operating.
That's really cool. And I think we'll go for a quick drive in one,
Definitely.
and then we'll wrap up the video because you can't come here and not go for a little blast.
Definitely. And we have some quite good off-road here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we can test the vehicle.
Great. I think I'll do that. Can't thank you enough for having me. This was great.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Thank you. And now here comes our ride going in the big battery version, which actually makes a bit more power than the smaller battery versions. We're talking 35 kilowatts, folks. Big money. But no, I actually think it's properly powered. Yannick is one of the test drivers for these guys, one of the development engineers, and he's going to take me for a rip around. So let's jump inside. Very G-Wagon feeling door handles. Hey, Yannick, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for taking us for this ride.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can we take a look at the interior really quick? So just like the last time I reviewed it, this is the same 2,000 kilometers on this one, 93% state of charge. That's right, 2 throttle settings. I forgot. Eco limits maximum power and
Yes.
work gives you everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, very interesting.
So also in work mode, you have a boost.
Oh,
that's
really?
Available for 10 seconds. And then it has to build up again until you can use it again.
And how long does this build-up process take, would you say?
30 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad. So you get a 30-second peak, goes down to nominal rating, and then
Yeah.
it'll go back to peak.
Exactly.
Very cool. And nice switch gear. I remember all of this from when I drove it.
Yeah.
These are looking really nice.
Yeah, it's a
It's a development
kind
vehicle.
Of a testing vehicle, yeah. So
I love that.
Things like this
Yeah,
happen
no
just
shroud
like-
for the
Yeah,
steering.
exactly.
As it should be, a real proper prototype. So let's go for a rip and see what it can do, all right?
Not too exciting, actually. It's just a road.
Right.
Until-
I agree, it's just a road, but this is where pretty much every EVUM you mentioned, you just take down the road after production.
Exactly. So this is where we test if the vehicle does what it's supposed to do, like going maximum speed, 70 kilometers per hour.
It does a little bit more than maximum speed.
It does a little bit more, yeah.
Very German, it's very underrated.
Yeah.
Very
So-
cool.
Until we hit this roundabout, that's where we turn around and go back.
Ah, so every EVUM comes to the roundabout, goes around, and then comes back.
Yeah.
Love it.
Actually, the quality department does a longer test run with every vehicle after it comes out of production. So, but this is like for a really quick test.
Yeah.
If the vehicle runs at all, basically. So
Very
with,
nice.
also with vehicles being in service, we do this.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
If there are any errors or something, we can test it right
And we
here.
just passed 2,000 kilometers.
Ooh, party.
Celebration. Now it looks like we're on a road that only an EVUM could fit on.
Yeah, we're going to one, yeah.
Oh, nice, cool. Oh, dang, the road just ends, and here we go.
The road just ends and
And you can just drive on this?
Yeah, we can.
That's amazing.
I mean, there are some private roads around here.
I love these things. They're just so freaking loud and,
Go.
yep, no sound deadening. Dang, look at this thing in reverse. It freaking rips. I think it has the same speed backwards as it does forwards. Nice driving there.
That was awesome.
Okay, I'm calling you Chris Harris now. That was great. We're just passing this giant solar field as we enter in a forest. Where are you taking me? This is great. Doing EVUM things. This is all I want to do in an EVUM. Full send. This is great. Yeah, this is like an EVUM rally car.
Yeah, it's really like that.
Nice. And now top speed run.
Yeah.
77. Can we see it? Come on. Oh man, so cool. I can't wait. One day I hope we get an EVUM. We're going to put a real spicy motor in it and make it quite quick. It'll be
Full tuning mode.
yeah, full tuning mode, exactly. I just love the spirit of the car. It's just so fun because it's essentially like that giant Iveco truck, just downsized.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does the same thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, we are in Bayerbach in Germany where we produce our cars, and this is actually just in between the people, where people live, where we test our vehicles. In this case, we use this hill climb to test how quick our vehicles are and if they deliver power as they should.
Mm-hmm. Very
So
nice.
let's do this right now.
Let's do a wide open throttle run
Yeah.
uphill. Pretty strong.
It's quite good.
No problems at all getting up here.
No, it's no problem at all.
Yeah, I would say, 10 kilowatt motor nominal, maybe 15 peak doesn't sound like much.
Yeah, it really
But-
doesn't sound like much.
Feels like more than enough. There you have it. Just pulling out of EVUM right now. What an awesome experience that was. Just thinking about it, this is now the second time I've been in the aCar. It really is a perfect solution for a lot of people and a lot of things. The problem at the moment is the cost. They're 30 to 35,000 euros, depending on the spec, somewhere around there. Of course, there's tax incentives, etc. But they really, I think, and they know they need to get there, but they really have to ramp production, have a great marketing strategy. Everything's just got to come in together, and then the price can come down, and then they can fulfill their mission, I think, of helping underprivileged countries and things like this. And they know that, and that's my impression as well. It's like once they can just crank the dial to 12, then this whole thing will work. But it's early days, it's early production, just like Tesla starting with the Roadster. Everything's expensive and hard to do at first, but if you put in the hard yards now, then hopefully you'll have future benefit later on. And I think they have the best guys running the company. A really good product, really fun product, really enjoyable to just bounce around in. It's really cool. That prototype that we're in was super rattly and been ragged on, but hey, that's an early prototype for you. I've driven the production ones, which are way more solid than that in terms of feeling. But yep, can't thank you enough for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. Hope you enjoyed that EVUM tour and drive. See you on another one soon. Bye-bye.